we are going to open, are we not, our dog clinic?
We are, absolutely.
Okay, our Channel 5 dog clinic. We're taking your calls now, 0207 862 2222. Because, of course, tonight, Graeme's show is on Channel 5 at 8 o'clock. Now, is your dog behaving badly? Do you need Graeme to tell you how to get it to walk on a lead or stop jumping on the sofa or barking? One dog that needs a little bit of help here is a troublesome Cavapuchon called Pippin. Comes in with owner Nat. Welcome to them both. Welcome. Now, the issue is, like, what is the actual issue, Nat, here?
Basically, when someone rings the doorbell, he goes absolutely mental.
Let's just try and ring an artificial doorbell.
Oh, there we go, look. Well, there he goes.
It wasn't Angela. It wasn't Angela. Okay. Yeah.
You rang that doorbell, didn't you?
Now, what do you do? What do you do about that, Graeme? Help Nat here.
Well, do you see that little shake-off, by the way, just there? When it all calmed down for a sec, you shook off. That's a sign a dog's calming down. Just a little tip for you there. That's like people going, phew. So if you see a dog shake off, you can praise him because that means he's calming down. Okay. So what do you do about the doorbell? Well, when the doorbell goes, if it rings, we can tell him no. We could stand between him and where he thinks the doorbell is in your house. But if you're struggling, a way to do it is, most of us these days have got one of those wireless doorbells. You can move the speaker thing around the house. So if you hide it somewhere where it's less volume to start your training, you get less of a reaction. And it's easier to praise him when he's quiet. And then over time, days and weeks, you can bring that doorbell a little bit nearer to where it normally is. So a little tip. That
Let's try half volume doorbell now.
Let's try it with less. See what we get. Yep. Wait. Come here. Good boy. So when he stops, good lad. He happens to know I've got to treat you. Good boy. So the message here isn't I'm giving him a treat to distract him from barking.
Yes.
That's a different one. Give me treats. So
this is I'm sensing and it's an intelligent dog.
Pippin.
And I think that this dog has worked out any level of doorbell means somebody's outside.
Yes.
And what I'm worried, if we play it really quietly, we may...
Can we do it really? Oh, there.
No, you see, he's bright. He's on it. I'm worried about this.
So what I do is I wait until he stops.
Pippin, you're being trained.
Stops, good boy. So he gets good boy for stopping. That's the key. You've got to get your timing right. If you try to give him a treat to go, no, come on, be a good boy, stop. He goes, doorbell treat. As opposed to doorbell, stop barking. Treat.
Right.
That's the message.
In the end, that's okay. Don't worry.
Pippin.
He's seen a dog on a
He's actually seen a picture of himself. Oh, Pippin. He's a bit stressed, I think, maybe. Okay, well, that's really fascinating. Is that helpful, Nat?
Yes, we'll try it. Yeah.
All right, we'll see you later on. Good luck. Thank you, Nat. Okay, Storm, what have we got? Great.
Oh, that was so funny. Pippin, you're a wee star. Love you to bits. We've got loads of messages coming in so thank you very much for getting in contact. So Free here says, my 2-year-old Kakapo has a habit of eating tissues. I don't know why he does it. I don't know if it's dangerous. I always try and pull him away and see if I see one dropped on the ground there. Boo's actually done that a little bit when she was a puppy, but mostly with my lipsticks, which if you've ever seen a dog that's chewed a lipstick, it looks like something absolutely horrific has happened.
Oh, yes, I see.
Yeah, so I got really worried for a little bit, 5 seconds, until I seen my favourite lipstick just smeared all over my carpet, which was lovely. She's over that now. Martin here says, my dog humps the pillows on the bed. I think she does it because she knows it's wrong.
How would you deal with that, Graeme? You've got somebody in the house humping the pillows.
Okay, so the first one, tissues is a good example. Yes, that could be a problem because they can eat enough, it causes a blockage in the intestinal system. So you really want to discourage that. Next one, stealing lipstick and all that kind of thing. Yes, you just want to discourage that. And sometimes, it's not rocket science. Prevention is better than cure. Just keep your lipstick to yourself.
Yeah, but how would you tell a dog eating that tissue was wrong?
Right, good question. So dogs are very much ones for looking at our facial expressions and listening to our tone of voice. So it's very much the tone. If you were to say, don't do that, darling, no, that's going to do you some harm. The message that goes across is daddy, daddy, da, sounds delightful, smiley face, dog goes, oh, tissues are good.
Right.
It's the wrong thing. So we mustn't go over the top, and I'm not advocating shouting at dogs or doing anything nasty, but the different tone of voice and a different face that says, I mean it, like this, no. that carries a bit of weight.
Right, no.
And if you should see them back away from the tissue, you can praise them for turning away. If you're trying to correct a dog for doing something naughty, you really must put the emphasis on the positive. So when they get it right, you must reward that. And that's the bit that's always
Brilliant, very useful. Thank you.
Sometimes it is quite hard though, especially if you've got a puppy and they're really cute and they do something like, you know, like the Andrex puppies and they like that. There's my dog and she absolutely demolished all the toilet paper in my bathroom.
So
and I couldn't help but laugh.
So if that's just happened, Storm, what's your reaction to that?
I laugh and smile and think it's really funny and then clean it up and forget about it.
Do you know, I mean, I wouldn't knock it because I can understand where that comes from, but you really mustn't. You need that. You know, with toddlers, sometimes they do something that's naughty but cute or clever, and we do the face like, no, you mustn't do that. And then we turn away and go, look what she just did. Well, you can't let them see it.
I mustn't, yeah.
Okay.
Storm, any calls?
Yes, I'm practicing my poker face now for Boo. We are going to speak to Gemma from Shropshire now.
Right.
Go on, Gemma.
Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Your pug is called Betty, I understand.
Yes, Betty.
And what does she do, Gemma?
Oh, she's a nightmare if I'm trying to watch anything on the telly, especially animal programs. So she will bark, she will run and lunge at the telly. It's a nightmare. I have to have her on my lap with a cushion blocking her view. I have to have subtitles on, I have to have the volume up, and then, if anything, I have to go upstairs and watch telly in another room because she just goes berserk.
Graeme, is she enjoying it? Is that the reason?
I think she's trying to get rid there. I mean, with a lot of dogs, some dogs see the telly and some absolutely don't, you know. And I think there's a case there. And we got Pippin in the studio. One wants to bark at the other
dogs
dog.
now
Hilarious.
interacting, yeah.
So she's probably trying to get rid. If she sees what's on the telly and it's an animal, it's a natural instinct for her. This thing's just appeared in her living room. So it's a self-rewarding behaviour. The problem, Gemma, is that she barks and barks long enough that eventually that animal disappears from the telly and she thinks, oh, barking gets rid of the animal from my living room. So one of the things you can do is record a couple of programmes that have got animals on them. I can recommend dogs behaving very badly. And then you can play it back so you can practice in your own time. Get between her and the telly. You will sometimes need to get off the sofa and just make that point. No, it's not appropriate. But when she backs down, you know what I'm going to say, always praise her for being quiet.
All right, Gemma, so get between her and the telly, say no, and when she stops barking, praise and a biscuit.
That'll do.
That's brilliant.
How's that?
Thank you very
Brilliant.
much. Thank you, Graeme.
Job done. Thank you. I hope it's tuned in to us. Storm.
We're going to speak to Hilary now from West Sussex, who her two whippets keep eating cat poo.
Right. I don't know how you'd even start with that.
Tricky. It's called Coprophagia. It's a special word for eating poo. It's a natural part of some animals' diet, actually, believe it or not. So it's really unpalatable to us. And I know the reaction I'm getting from the side.
Does it matter? I suppose you could say if it's part of...
To some extent, it doesn't matter, but you probably do want to discourage it. And it's not nice.
Hilary, why is it bothering you?
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
It really is.
I haven't tried it myself, but I would imagine it is.
Could you muzzle a whippet?
Could potentially muzzle the whippet around a cat. Do you know, it's so difficult. You're really trying to work against Mother Nature here. So I think sometimes...
It's not just cat poo. We've got 4 neighbours with cats, and they use our garden as a toilet.
Oh, that's not good.
That's annoying.
So it's the front garden, the back garden, and as soon as they get out there, to them it's like, steak.
Well, it is.
They just,
that's the problem.
To it.
It's really difficult. Yeah. I won't kid you, because you're right. It's a kid in a sweet shop, in effect, that garden. I know that's hard for us to believe. Can you imagine?
Which sweet shops do you go to?
Could you not spray? If you get out there, firstly, you've got to get those cats out of your garden, Hilary. That's the key thing. If you can't do that, you go out and you spray something obnoxious on the cat poo to stop the dogs eating it.
You could try it, but honestly, I don't think it's going to work. Yeah, you can buy all sorts of sprays, and generally they don't work. So it's very difficult. And it really is a case, I think, prevention's better than cure. I know that's not the most satisfying answer ever, but it's really hard. Otherwise, what you're going to have to do is every time that your dog goes for a bit of that poo, you essentially need to tell them off or get between them and the poo. How are you going to do that? Really difficult.
Yeah. Hilary, thank you very much indeed. Can't get over that. Storm.
We're going to speak to Anne now from Glasgow, who has quite a serious problem actually with her French bulldog.
You've got a problem with your French bulldog. Tell us what it is, Anne.
Hi, morning, Jeremy.
Morning.
We have a French bulldog. He's 15 months and we've had him since a pup. He's very fond of both our children, William and Anna. However, when they approach him or try to pet him when he's interacting with them, he will turn on them and bite them, and he's got quite a powerful bite. So now the children don't pet him at all, but they're quite comfortable for him to approach her.
I see Angela think you
Anne, get rid of the dog. Sorry, you've got children. The children have to, with the greatest of respect, that dog should not be living with children. I'm not an expert. The dog wants to bite the kids. Bye-bye, dog. Go to a home.
What
with
age
no
are the kids, Anne?
11 and 5.
Okay.
Oh,
I thought you were going to say 35 and 40, but
Yeah.
no. All right. So very young kids, they're risky.
It is extremely risky, and what we mustn't do is do anything that puts the children at risk. And the 5-year-old's probably of an age where they can't really understand properly how to avoid it. I think you're living in a difficult situation. I'd want to see the problem for myself, and I'd want to spend quite a bit of time with your dog to understand what could potentially be done. But the golden rule has to be here that, you know, safeguarding the children is the paramount thing. There are cases where it's not a match made in heaven, and sometimes we have to face up to that.
Thank you, Anne. Good luck. Don't have any trouble at home. Storm.
We've got lots more messages on this. We had a message here from Stanley who says, my dog won't stop digging holes in our garden. We don't have a lawn anymore. It's just potholes no matter what he will dig. Help. Stanley says, oh, look at that.
Look at that. So
My
dig,
next
dig,
door
dig.
neighbour's dog is doing that at the moment, but she's a puppy, and I wondered whether it was a puppy thing.
That dog could be used to help construct HS2. They need a bit of labour. Go on, quickly on that.
Oh, hello.
Here we go.
Another dog on the telly.
In 10 seconds, what would
10
you do?
seconds. That's a beagle. They love to sniff. They're all about the smell. You need to be there to tell them. You can't just let them out in the garden because they will just have a whale of a time, I'm afraid.